which would last for 5,125 years. And that's what we see here. That cycle up there at the top, over there says our current era of 5,125 years, 13 Batunes. It's understood as being the era of clay. If you check on the left, you will see the year 3113 before Christ, which is the beginning of the calendar, and they marked the year 2012 as the end of it. Adding up together, that era is 5,125 years. Times 5 will provide us with what we know as a galactic year. What's a galactic year? Our planet spins on an axis, right? And it also spins around the sun. But it also wobbles. But this wobbling is so slow that we cannot appreciate it in a lifetime, because it lasts about 26,000 years to do 360 degrees, right? So it's spinning, rotating, and wobbling. This wobbling is the matter of our studies today, because they divided that wobbling into 5 eras. The era of gold, the era of silver, bronze, iron, and finally clay, which is the one we're living at now. And we are at the threshold, at the very threshold over there, to move into the new one, which is era, returning into the era. Now, how do they divide? Era of gold is ruled by elders, and they rule by the laws of God. You know why we men have laws and we have Congress, so many congressmen? Because we no longer understand each other. Every time we cannot take an agreement, a lawyer has to come in, and a lawyer has to create laws, and Congress has to create new laws, because we don't understand. But why we don't understand each other? Because we are not willing to abide to God's law. We stay away from God's law, and then problems come, right? The era of, then comes the era of silver. Silver is characterized by being ruled by aristocracy. They claim that that mandate is given by God. They say, we rule because God says so, we're supposed to. Then when they get overthrown by the militia says, we win our wars because it's God's will. Finally, the iron will be ruled by the Vulgo. The Vulgo denies the existence of God. We saw what happened to the Soviet Union. The Vulgo overthrow the militia, the aristocracy, the elders, and they end up running into communism. And then the denial of God, because it's communism and atheism. Finally, in the era of clay, which is our era now, it is ruled by money. And then money is what becomes God. And eventually that era is going to collapse. To go where? To return to the era of gold, in which we will be ruled by elders, and then we will be ruled back again by the laws of God. And then we will return to Mother Nature. Okay? This is different photographs of the sun, the orbit, and how it's moving. And how this is the model of Bandot and Langton, which shows how the differential speed in the north and south cascade in the sun and the equator actually makes the electromagnetic field in the sun to twist until you just can't hold it anymore. And then every 11.4 years, boom, it blows up. The problem is now that we're expecting like the big cycle to end, and then happening Kinich Katmo. These are different photographs, different filters provided by NASA that shows the solar activity as it is occurring. And then eventually getting to the day the sun will change its face into that of a Waka Maya. The Mayas call it Kinich Kakmo. And what does that mean? Yes? Yes.
No?
Okay.
How did the Mayas measure all this?
Okay, to begin with, the Mayas had what we all lack of. They had time. And they had a society that was committed to pass one generation onto the next one, onto the next one, so that their calendar is 5,124 years old. So picture them before then with those constructions, fantastic mathematicians and astronomers. They had the time and the will to count time and observe the sun. They had the tools, and eventually they were able to put together this knowledge and pass on to them. And whatever happened back in 5,000 something years ago is meant to repeat. But the big message is not panicking, it's not destruction, it's not the end of the world. It is the fact that we are moving into this new era. We're moving into this new dawn of humankind, and what we have to do is put science on service for humankind, right? And return into Mother Nature, those three premises we saw earlier in Lakech and Alakem, and then understand the cycles of Mother Nature like they did. They understood the accuracy of movement of Earth, the Sun, planet, and they end fantastically this way. Unfortunately, we're running out of time. We have a new conference now coming, and afterwards, some of you have some questions, and I'll be very, very happy, very glad to answer them. And just be daring and awaken your Maya consciousness into this new dawn of humanity. We will wait for you in Mexico. Thank you very much. Love you. God bless you.
Thank you very much. Do you have any questions? No? Is that clear? Sorry, I forgot to introduce at the beginning of the session Francisco Alonso, which is the Consul of Mexico in Dubai. Thank you for being here with us. Thank you for coming. Good luck.
Thank you.